Everyone has a story, and for Eaglemont Church, it's no different. It's a story worth celebrating that began in the growing town of Beaumont years ago with an empty lot donated by a handful of Christian businessmen who got excited about a vision to plant a new church to help reach people for Christ. People from various supporting churches in the Edmonton region came together with committed and serving hearts and leaned into this same vision. After the construction of this current facility, our first Sunday gathering was October 2006. The Eaglemont family grew, people came to Christ, and Eaglemont's Christ-honoring reputation as a serving church grew in the community. By 2013, we began having some space challenges, particularly in the children's ministry areas. We began to pray about God's next step for us. And in the spring of 2014, the visionary decision to expand the existing facility with a view to the future was prayerfully made in a council leadership meeting.
I remember that meeting. I was there. It was a really exciting moment for us all. Over the next year, concept drawings and cost estimates were developed. The core team members then voted 90% in favor of committing to the saving funds towards the future expansion. And the Lord blessed. New families continued to come and funds started pouring in. However, challenges soon began to appear. We began to experience a plateau in growth. Then last spring, in an effort to minimize the spread of COVID-19, in-person gatherings were limited. In light of these realities, it may seem counterintuitive to continue with expansion. One might even ask, has our initial expansion vision changed? Not at all. We're committed to what we still sense is God leading, to continue trusting Him that He will bring many to Christ through this faith expansion process. We are impacting the community. During the COVID season, 370 individual family groups have come for the first time by attending our drive-in movie nights. And funds are consistently and miraculously coming in spite of the economic uncertainties. As of December 31st, we raised $3.6 million, which is approximately 60% of our current estimated cost. Even with this current challenges that we're facing, our vision has not changed. The pandemic will not be here forever, and we need to be ready for what God will do next. Right now, our building expansion lead team is finalizing contracts to complete drawings, which will be presented later this year in consideration of our next step. Our story is ongoing. There is more to add, and you are a part of it as we trust the Lord for the future.
As we look toward future expansion, there are some ways this new and expanded space will allow us greater opportunities in our kingdom work. It will enhance our Sunday morning elementary experience as the children will be able to use the gym every Sunday morning for activity-based discipleship and worship and connecting. A new auditorium and lobby space with a cafe area will enrich the whole worship and connecting experience each Sunday that will help draw people in toward connecting with God and with the church family. This new space will also be very user-friendly to improve ministry to preschool children in a number of ways, and will also allow us to consider the possibility of a midweek Christian preschool at some point in the future. Additionally, I'm confident that with a new auditorium, community couples wanting marriage ceremonies will seek us out, giving us the opportunity in pre-marriage sessions to have meaningful conversations about God and His desire for their life and marriage. We've said it many times. This expansion vision is not about bricks and mortar. Rather, it's simply another tool God is giving us to help us reach people for Jesus. It's always been about them. In terms of saving funds for this, we've made great progress these years, but we're not quite there yet. Church, as part of this journey together, I ask you to please put Sunday, March 28th on your calendar. It's a very important day in our church's history. It's the 5th anniversary of when we started saving funds together for this facility expansion.
In anticipation of March 28th, we simply ask that everyone seriously ask God in prayer, how do you want me to commit to this project and vision, both financially and in prayer? We know that God's story for Eaglemont is still being written, and there are many exciting chapters. He still wants to add. That's a future worth investing in. We are still sensing God's green light to press forward, trusting Him to continue to use us to reach spiritually lost people with the gospel. Our leadership is so unified in this.
March 28 will be similar to what happened in 1 Chronicles 29 in the Old Testament, where everyone brought what God led them to bring to build his temple. They gave gold, silver, bronze, precious stones. And then in verse 9 it says, "The people rejoiced over the offerings, for they had given freely and wholeheartedly to the Lord." Let's ask for his provision as we obey his prompting on how he wants each of us to give and to engage. As leaders, we hope that everyone in the Eaglemont family will obey how God asks you to engage and give, and that we'll all trust him fully in the process as we respond. Thank you for joining us in prayer for God's will to continue to be done each step of the way.